Maya had always been a creature of routine. Every morning, she woke up at 6:30 a.m., made herself a cup of coffee, and spent 30 minutes scrolling through her social media feed. She worked in a small but thriving advertising agency and had recently been promoted to a senior position. Life was good, or so she thought. One Tuesday, as she was about to leave for work, she noticed an unfamiliar number calling her phone. Normally, she ignored random calls, but something made her pick it up. "Hello?" There was a brief silence before a voice on the other end spoke, its tone calm but unsettling. "Maya, I know you're busy, but you should really listen to me." Maya's heart skipped a beat. "Who is this?" The voice seemed to hesitate, then said, "Let's just say I'm someone who's looking out for you. You've been making some decisions lately. Decisions that will change everything for you. Be careful." The call dropped before Maya could respond. She stood frozen for a moment, trying to shake the feeling that had crept up her spine. Who could that have been? And what decisions was she making? Over the next few days, strange things started happening. Maya began receiving mysterious text messages from the same number, cryptic and unsettling. "The deal is too risky, but you'll go through with it, won't you?" Or, "She's not who you think she is." At work, her colleague Sarah seemed to know more about Maya's thoughts and actions than anyone could have. Maya had only just begun considering a partnership with a rival company for a project, and Sarah had made a casual comment about it before she'd even mentioned it aloud. "You're not thinking of working with Jameson Industries, are you?" Sarah had asked one afternoon as they sat in the break room. "I heard their team is aggressive about poaching clients." Maya had barely mentioned the potential partnership to anyone. Was Sarah somehow spying on her? As the week went on, the calls continued, growing more specific. "You're trusting the wrong people, Maya. Don't ignore the signs." Maya began to feel paranoid. She retraced her steps, trying to piece together any sign of who might be watching her, but nothing made sense. Everyone she spoke to seemed either oblivious or indifferent to the mystery surrounding her. Her boss, Greg, brushed it off when she mentioned the calls, saying she was probably overworked and stressed. But Sarah? She seemed oddly unfazed by Maya's growing anxiety. That Friday, everything came to a head. After another cryptic message warning her about Sarah, Maya decided to confront her colleague. She needed answers. Maya waited until the office was quiet. The hum of the fluorescent lights, the only sound as she approached Sarah's desk. She had the phone in her hand, her mind racing. There was no time for hesitation. "Sarah," Maya said, her voice steady. "I need to ask you something. Are you behind these calls, the texts? What do you know about me?" Sarah looked up from her computer, her face unreadable. "What are you talking about?" The calmness in Sarah's tone only fueled Maya's anxiety. But before she could continue, Sarah stood up and walked toward her, leaning in just a little too close. "Maya," she said softly, "you really don't know, do you?" Maya's stomach churned. "Know what?" Sarah smiled, a hint of something almost familiar in her eyes. "I'm the one who's been looking out for you." Suddenly, everything clicked. Maya's mind raced, piecing together fragments of strange moments. The unexpected kindness Sarah had shown her when she was struggling at work. The way Sarah had always known just what to say to calm her down when things got overwhelming. And then it hit her. Sarah wasn't just her colleague. She was her sister. Maya had been adopted at a young age. She had no memory of her biological family, and the adoption had been a closed one. For years, she had convinced herself it didn't matter. But the phone calls, the strange familiarity, the protective nature of Sarah's warnings. Maya had ignored the signs. Sarah stepped back, her expression softening. "It's me, Maya. You don't remember, but I've been keeping an eye on you for years, ever since you left." Maya's heart raced as she tried to process the revelation. But how? Why now? Sarah's voice softened further. "I couldn't stay away any longer. The agency had to keep the adoption confidential, but I've been following your life. You've been making decisions that aren't like you, and I just couldn't let it go any longer." Maya took a step back, feeling the weight of the situation sink in. She wasn't sure whether to be terrified or relieved, but one thing was for sure. Her life, as she knew it, had just been completely altered.